Hi there, it's Dr. Joe Molete, the Dr. DJ, ready to inspire, entertain, and educate you. Today I'm doing a workshop for young people. We're talking about principles on how to achieve greatness. And I'm just giving you a small preview so that you can see the kind of things we talk about in our workshop. Hopefully you can find this information useful. So I have this model that I've developed, and the model talks about 5 key principles, success principles, that all these people utilize. These are the people that I've studied, they've been talked about, and there's definitely nothing new here. These are the old-time principles that have been there since back in the days, and I'm just taking them, packaging them, so that you can take them and package them in your own way. The first key principle is that of having a compelling purpose. You really need to know what your life is all about. And the purpose that you come up with should align with your passions. These are the things that bring joy to you, that excites you. Should align with your values. This is your core values that drives you, And in this principle, really, they follow the work of, Rick Warren, who wrote a book about a purpose-driven life. And he shares the same principles, that your life should be driven by a core purpose. I also follow the work of Napoleon Hill, who said the first key principle of successful people is the definitiveness of purpose. So I sit down, we look at the things that excite you. You know how you meet people, sometimes you ask them, what do you want to do? And it's, I used to do this, I used to like swimming, I used to like cooking. But when you look at what they're doing something completely different, something that really drains energy out of them. And you wonder why they are not successful, why they're not making measurable progress in reasonable time. Is because sometimes people go off track. You must follow your true north, as Bill George always says. And that true north should be guided by a core purpose, to say what impact you want to make. I personally chose to work on leadership, to help young people to strengthen their leadership compass. I work on biotechnology, to say how can we take this tool to go make an impact in the world. I've chosen music, to say how can I collect different kind of music and bring joy to people. So I make the impact in those 3 different areas and nothing else. Other than that, if you don't have a core purpose, you end up distracted, doing too many things that don't align with you, and you struggle to make progress. So that's what we do in the workshop. The first thing that we look at is that purpose. The second thing is about continuous development. This principle says that you need to identify your talents, but then complement them with skills. Make sure you continuously learn. You put the hours, you put the time that it takes for you to excel, because talent alone won't get you anywhere. You need to continuously refine yourself in many different areas. And in the workshop, we look at the 7 key areas of life. From health, that's why some of us exercise, so that we have enough energy. You need to continue refining and developing there. We look at your career. How is your career advancing? Where do you need to develop? We look at your finances. You need to have a financial plan to say, this is where I am, this is the kind of wealth I need to attract. We look at your relationships, because your relationships are key. They make or break you. We look at your spirituality. This is the core source that drives you, whether it's God, Allah, ancestors, whatever your divine source is. You need to have a plan to say, how am I going to honor it? How am I going to preach it? We look at contribution. We all want to make an impact, contribute to the world. Now you need to know which areas you're going to contribute and refine those. So that's the second principle about continuous development. And at the end of that program, we come up with what I call an exceptional living plan that clarifies your goals, where you are, where you want to go, and an implementation plan. The second thing we look at is that positive psychology thing. We grew up in different environments, in different cultures, surrounded by different people. Those people are very instrumental in shaping our thinking, the way we see the world. But for most people, as they continue with their lives, going from one stage to the other, they forget to look at the thinking. Like a computer, you update your software so that you don't use an old software. The world is changing so fast and so rapidly. So what's needed is a process to say, is my thinking working for me? Do I need to put a new software? Do I need to remove all the limiting beliefs? These beliefs are holding you in one place. But if you are able to engage with different people with an open mindset, look at your beliefs, identify them, and entrench new empowering beliefs. So we sit down and say, what are your old beliefs? Which beliefs do you think are limiting you? What are the new beliefs you need to entrench in your system? And we debate and we debate. And at the end, we help each other refine our mental models. So that's the third component that we look at in the workshop. The fourth one is this concept that you need a support team, a support structure around you. And you've heard the principle that it's not what you know, but who you know. If you don't believe it by now, soon enough you will. In life, you will never make it alone. That's why God has given you limited capabilities. The only way to advance your cause and make an impact is to partner with other people. Other people who bring complementary skills to help you. And Marcus Birmingham in his book says, focus on your strengths to make an impact. Sometimes they tell you, no, go learn some things that you are weak at and that will help you. No, it's about building a support team. It takes a lot of things because you work with people who think differently from you. Sometimes they piss you off, sometimes they don't align with you, but at the end of the day, you need to know how to nurture the relationships. Some of the relationships will be beneficial to you, those you continue harnessing, nurturing, and making sure they grow. Some of the relationships in your life, sometimes from relatives, sometimes from work, sometimes from the community, are people who just stress the hell out of you, they depress you, they take a lot of your time, they don't add value. You just need to cut them out. There's no any other way. So we sit down, we make a list of people in your life, from work, family, community, and all the different spheres. We take those you need to eliminate with a red sticker. Boom, boom, boom. And the ones that are beneficial with a green sticker. Gosh. And the one that you're not sure about, those that are lukewarm, sometimes they're good, sometimes with a yellow. And then we watch them. And then once you develop those relationships, you have a support team around you that helps you. And in addition to that, you need to have a role model. This is the fastest way to get where you want to. People who have done things that you need to do. Otherwise, you end up repeating things that others have done that they already know that they are not going to add value to you. You need to have a coach. I'm telling you, even the best in the world, people like Tiger Woods, you see how good he is. He has a coach, someone who looks at his small weaknesses and helps him leverage his strength. So this is what we do in this support team module, where we help each other to make sure we strengthen our support team. The last of the 5 things is this concept that you need an entrepreneurial plan. Believe it or not, we are all entrepreneurs at heart. We want to have control of our time. We need to have control of our resources because we can think. And you know how depressing is it sometimes when you work in an environment that doesn't align with you and you just feel like things are not going your way. You want to influence this and you can't influence that. You've been there. Sometimes even the people who are employed, you need to look at it differently. Entrepreneurial plan says, I as Joe have tremendous resources. I'm going to apportion some of my resources to my company as a full-time employee. And people who are working, sometimes they are the most depressed people because at work, they will never leverage all their skills. That's why they put a job description. They only use part of you. And some of this agitativeness that people get is because they have so much capabilities that are not utilized. And only if they can find a channel to utilize some of their skills, strengths, they will be excited. So an entrepreneurial plan says, what of my core strength am I allocating to my work? And what channels can I use to use some of my skills to add value, to make an impact to other people? And sometimes when you do that, you find that those other sources or channels where you use your skills, they sometimes bring revenue to you. So it becomes an additional source of income. I work full time, I work with scientists, we develop technologies. Then I go and DJ, play music for people because I have a unique collection of music. I make them dance and sometimes I generate money. I go talk to young people, give workshops. Sometimes they pay me, they thank me, sometimes they don't. But But who cares? As long as I feel like I'm making an impact and adding value. So in this entrepreneurship model, we look down, we fragment all your skills, your capabilities. We then says which one, if you're working full time, are you going to leverage? If you're not, we put a system in place to say, how then can you create your own tribe? People who like your work, who will follow you, who will speak out for you, to come and get value out of you. And then lastly, we put this support team of people who are diverse in nature to help you incubate your idea. So this is just what we're going to do. Sometimes take 2 days, depending on the number of questions that come out of people. But to learn all these concepts, it takes around 2 days. But they are lifetime principles, old principles that have been there. I've packaged them to you my own way. You look at them, you take the one that works for you, and then you go package them. I hope to see you in some of our workshops if you find that this information is useful, and then we can do the same and help you develop your own exceptional living plan. That's the Dr. DJ, trying to inspire and educate you. See you soon.